it's going live. 5, 4. What up, Facebook Live? Robgoddy78. Instagram. Insta Live. What up, though? Let me get up in here. We're here, y'all. What's up? Next episode, hope y'all like my gear. I tried, y'all. I tried to look my best. Hopefully y'all like what I put together for y'all, knowing I respect my viewers. We're here today again, another week. Lovely Gigi, y'all met her last week. You know what I'm saying? She had a story. We was talking about some things, but this week the topic is it okay to say no when you're in a relationship? And if so, why? And kind of like give a couple examples. So we're going to be having this conversation, just to hopefully spark some dialogue with y'all, just to get y'all talking. And we are live, so you can leave comments or whatever, and you may get a reply from me or you might not. Again, I'm still trying to set everything up here, but work with us, work with me. But anyways, so look, check this out. I had a conversation the other day with my daughter and my sister-in-law, and we were talking about saying no to saying your partner or who you're in a relationship with. And she was stating that, that her man better not ever tell her no. I'm like, what you mean your man should never tell you no, right? And so, and I think that that's something that we really need to talk about, because more often than not, we feel entitled to yes because someone we're in a relationship with, I guess we have this thing like they owe us yes all the time. And we probably need to address that, because I really believe that's an acceptance issue that a lot of us deal with. And it's not okay, because the world doesn't always give us what we want. We can't always have our way. So you have no in different forms, but it's hard for you or hard for us to accept no. In certain forms, it might be hard for us to accept it on larger scales. And maybe something we really need to address. And maybe that's what's wrong with a lot of us. We don't know how to accept no. We take yes gracefully. We embrace yes. We celebrate yes all the time. And then it begs the question, if someone is saying yes to you all the time, are they being authentic? Are they being real with you? So based on that, what do you think about that? What comes to your mind?
I feel like it's about setting healthy tones when it comes to that.
Right.
Some people have a situation where they lead with the yes thing all the time.
Right.
So once you start a pattern of always telling a person yes, then when you tell them no, it's like, wait a minute. Like, they get taken aback, or sometimes we have to question why is a yes or a no a no. Like, for example, no can be important on different levels.
Okay.
Like, if you tell your woman, like, okay, no, I'm not going to be able to spend this expense that you want at this particular time, because we have this over here that we need to focus on, and this is more important. We need to invest in whatever this is over here.
So no can be productive.
No can be productive.
It can be a good thing.
Yeah.
In that
no,
instance. Okay.
in that instance, no can be productive.
Okay.
And then you have, it's so many different angles to it. Then you have people who use no as a manipulative tactic.
Give me an example of that.
Okay.
I think I know where I got something, but I'm gonna let you go with that.
Okay. For example, from a personal experience.
Right.
I had a time in my life where I was dating somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having tunnel vision right now because I'm not where I particularly want to be at. So I've got tunnel vision. I'm not trying to. My money is tight. So if I'm with someone and they know the situation, which they did at that time, I'm not trying to really do things that aren't productive or resourceful because I want to get to where I'm getting to,
budget right now.
and I want you to, as my significant other, to aid me in that and kind of be an accountability partner and stuff like that. Well, he had a thing where, okay, he would, wine and dine and all of this stuff all day, but let me not want to do that with him, or not want to, be all up under him, or let it be something that if it's something he didn't want to do, then now when I ask for something, now the no is used as a weapon.
Oh, okay. So the weapon. Okay, wow.
Right.
Wow.
Now the no is used as a weapon,
see how
like
good this is?
A manipulative tactic to get some type of result out of me.
Wow. The Bible called that witchcraft. Time you're trying to manipulate or dictate or trying to force an outcome. You know what I'm saying? If it's not done directly, it's done indirectly through methods like that, like using no. But I was thinking, like, at the end of the day, like, I think that, because I like that. I was thinking, like, when people think or feel like they can't accept no from somebody, it's almost like, who do you think you are that somebody can't tell you no? Who are you that I can't say no to you? Who are you that if I say no to you, it's like the end of the world? Why do you think so much of yourself? Or why do we think so much of ourselves that no one can tell us no, or we can't accept no? Why is no so hard to accept? But yes is so easy to accept. When yes, a lot of times, more often than not, it's not healthy, and no is more healthier than not, if that makes any sense. A lot of times, even when you say no, when it comes to a diet, no to excessive spending, no to, you know what I'm saying, your children just going, spending out of anybody's houses, or so no can be very healthy.
Or even with just your personal boundaries, like, okay, these are the boundaries, and it's enough to these boundaries. It's enough.
Right.
And people don't, if it's not beneficial to them, then, that you could just shove that no.
So what do y'all think about that? I mean, we got our own ideas of the no and the yes thing, but like I said, I want to label this, or label the topic of this episode wanted to be the power of no. Because sometimes, like I would throw no out there to somebody just to see how they react. I want to see your response, because I see how you respond when I say yes to you. When I say, yeah, I'm good with it, let's go, whatever, let's make it happen. When I say no to you, are you still as graceful toward me as you were when I was saying yes to you? Is your energy different toward me? You know what I'm saying? And more often than not, what I found in my life is that when you tell people no that's used to hearing you say yes to them, they have a hard time dealing with it, and you usually get a conniption from them or an emotional response. You know what I'm saying? That's not really favorable or pleasant. And I always say this. You tell a person no, and the real person come out. You know what I'm saying? Now they'll tell you what they feel. And I'm going to give you an example. Like when your job fired you. Now you feel like you ain't got nothing to lose, because that firing you was a no. Like, no, you can't work here no more. Okay, really? All right then. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, you felt like that all along. You know what I'm saying? But you just didn't feel free enough to say it. And no allowed you to really be yourself in essence. So, I mean, I think that if nothing else, what we should get out of this conversation is we should examine ourselves and take to really just take inventory and say, you know what? Do I have a hard time? And I'm talking about like as individuals, not wondering if somebody else can accept no or not. But do me? Do we have a hard time really accepting it and really dealing with that? Because a lot of people, I'm telling you, a lot of people, they don't realize no comes in many forms. No comes in you not having your way, things not going your way, things not going as you expected them to, somebody even saying no to you like verbally, and we have a hard time with accepting that. Some of us won't give up. Women say, I don't want to talk to you. You keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Or even in some cases, or a lot of cases, men, I've been a victim to that. I'll tell a woman, no, I don't want to go no further. And it's fellas, y'all know. Sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes you got to write it down, take a picture. You know what I'm saying? Call the president. You know, talk to Jesus, just to translate the no, so they can get it. And it's unfortunate because, you know, in life, like I said before, I believe that we have more no's than yeses. We just have to cope with them. I mean, just imagine much, um, how much more peace of mind you would have when you're able to accept the fact that the world don't revolve around you, and you're not entitled to yes all the time, and you're not, and the world doesn't owe you understanding. Nobody has to agree with you all the time. You don't always have to be right. You can be wrong.
You know, also, like, I want to add, like, no, when it comes to, when you was talking about in relationships specifically, it has a whole lot to do. Usually, no in relationships has everything to do with setting, you know, boundaries, healthy boundaries on every level. Whether that's like coming into the relationship, everybody at some point, you usually have 3 different points, places, and times where you talk about what's a yes and what's a no in the relationship. Like, usually when you going into something, your first thing is you discuss your likes and your dislikes, your pet peeves, and what your boundaries are. And then as you get in and know one another and stuff like that, you kind of come back to the round table on it. Like, well, okay, this you visit that boundary place often.
Right.
So it's like, even when something is coming to an end, like, for example, I was talking to one of my girlfriends about how before I started to really take a real understanding to healthy boundaries and actually listening to not just what a person is saying to me, but listening and understanding about what they showing me. Because sometimes you have to read between the lines. Sometimes it might not always, if you're like, oh, just come out and just say this to me or tell me or discuss this to me. But oftentimes we know people's boundaries without them having to verbally tell us all the time.
Right.
So, for example, when I was younger and I had a boyfriend, and we discussed boundaries and all of that, and the relationship went on, it was kind of good or whatever, but then it started getting kind of rocky, and to a point where we just weren't meshing anymore. So him, in so many words, telling me no, that this can't continue, or, you know, I just think it's best if we both go our separate ways or whatever. Well, because it wasn't on my agenda.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is not how I expected it to go. And so since he was basically telling me, okay, no, we got to stop this, it's not healthy, because this wasn't what I built for us in my mind or whatever, even though deep down, I know deep down, okay, this is the best decision anyway. I already knew that. But when you want to have control so bad, you know what I'm saying, of something. So because this wasn't my plan, this wasn't how it was supposed to go in my head, I'm not accepting his no.
Right.
And I'm like, and I think we do that to each other a lot of times. Like, you can't you can't just cross my boundary.
Right.
And overstep how I feel, what I'm saying to you, what I'm telling you that the boundary is. And sometimes the boundary might be to just, let's both go opposite ways.
Right.
That's still a boundary. It's just different levels of them. So I was like, I came to the, you know, the older I've gotten, wherever I started to become more self-aware. And I'm like, I don't have a right to make a person feel, you know, like they a screwed up person, or, you know, like they scum for making a decision or setting a boundary that they truly feel was the best thing for them, all because it wasn't a part of my agenda or a part of my plan.
So you're speaking of the aftermath of no. Like
the
when you say-
aftermath.
So you speak
of
about the
no.
aftermath of
Because
no.
it's different areas and different levels and different situations where no occurs.
It's
all boundaries.
It sounds like to me like no is used more often than not as a tool to as, how do I say it? It's almost like people take no as a punishment, like as a penalty.
Yes.
Like they take no as a bad word.
And it's not always
It's like
some type of a penalty.
And they can't see the good in no.
It's just a boundary.
Or they can't respect it. So I think that's the real issue. I think that would have been a better topic for the show. Excuse me. Why can't what is so hard about us respecting no? Because that's what it really boils down to. Why don't we respect no? Why does no have this negative connotation for us? Why is it so like a bad word when we hear it? Like, no, what you mean? You know, when the police pull you over and they say, look, you gotta stop. What you mean I gotta stop? What you mean I'm trying to get somewhere or whatever, you know? It's like when life happens to you, and it always happens to you, it happens to all of us. When somebody passes away, when there's a wedding, when there's a, you know, like I said, a funeral or whatever, you know, it's like this person no longer is going to be with us. That's also, I think that also no has this connotation of rejection to it.
Yeah.
And a lot of us have rejection issues, and we don't like rejection. None of us do.
And as human beings, like the way that we're conditioned to want to feel in control of something,
right?
To want to have a grip on everything that we believe is ours, or we just want control. So when somebody tells you no, or somebody sets boundaries, whether they're healthy or not, it goes to show how bad we really want to be in control of things.
That's good.
And once somebody puts that boundary there, you lose control of the situation.
So no takes control away from a person.
No takes your control.
Or the illusion of the control they thought they had.
Right.
So no says like, look, you don't run this. You're not in control of this. And their reaction and response to your no almost says like, what do you mean? Like they're confused, like they don't understand. Like, what you mean I can't have my way? Right. Basically, what you mean? No, it's not gonna be this way. Somebody lied to you. Who tells you that?
Even with children, we are conditioned to want to control all the way from a child.
Okay.
You tell a child, no, you can't have that ice cream. Well, I'm gonna go ask Mama since Daddy said no. You know what I'm saying?
They have a hard time accepting no.
I'm gonna just go and ask Daddy, because this is what I want. You see how that control factor comes in. You learn this and you condition yourself to just want to be in control because you want your way.
Right.
From a child. I remember doing it as a child. Well, if Daddy say no, I'm just gonna go and ask Mama.
So look, on that note, right? I want y'all to think about this, right? I want you to really think about this, right? Okay, what happens when God says no? That's kind of like where I want to kind of like, you know, lead up to anyways, because I understand this on a horizontal level, the no, how we don't like accepting that from each other. But when God says no, how we react, how we respond. I know a lot of people that because their outcomes are not favorable, they look at it like God did something wrong, like God made a mistake, or like God, you know, the Bible says when God shut the door, can't no man open it, for example. When God shuts the door, it's God saying no to us or to you, you know. And a lot of times how we handle that will really determine what happens next. I really believe that, because the Bible says if you're faithful with a little, God will give you more. If you can handle it, I always say this, I'm gonna let you say something. I used to always say that if you can't respect my no, you don't deserve my yes. I think that there's something to what I just said. I think that God says, okay, look, I want to set these boundaries, and if you can respect them, I'll expand I'll give you more room, I'll give you more space, I'll give you more territory, because you're showing me that you can handle You can handle boundaries that I set. It's showing me you respect it. I think that even from a vertical, you know what I'm saying, disposition, I think that when you look to God and God says, okay, no, not now. And you handle that gracefully. And you continue on to walk by faith and not by sight and to trust God. I believe God looks at that and looks at you favorably. And he adds favor to you as a result of it. I think he resists the proud, and I believe he resists the proud. People who rebel against him because they don't like what he said. Yeah. Now, what you think about that?
I think that too. I mean, I agree. Sometimes when we praying for something and we constantly trying to focus on what it is we asking God for or whatever, we wonder why it's not coming, why it's not coming. He sends us different signs on what we're supposed to be doing. And sometimes, like, we get tired. Usually when you don't hear him constantly saying something back, whatever, usually that means to just, stand still.
Right.
Like, for example, when you playing chess or whatever,
right.
It's slow and strategic. It's not real quick. Sometimes you have to make your move, and that's what God do with us. Sometimes you have to make a move, and then you have to sit there.
Right.
And you have to wait.
Wow.
And while you're waiting, he's doing other stuff all around you to set up for what. So sometimes it's not always just no, period. Sometimes it's just no for right now.
Right. And that's when maturity comes in there too. Because even as a parent, a lot of times if children ask you for something that you've already determined in your heart to give them anyways, you're just waiting for an appointed time because you know that they're not ready, even though they think they are. And because you are the parent, you have to care for them and think for them and make decisions for them and govern them until they're able and capable of doing it for themselves. I think that what she's saying is so true because sometimes it's like no for the... But you know what? Let's go a little bit deeper. I like that, the no for right now. And even sometimes, like I just said, sometimes I'll say no. I want to see how you respond. It's not even really no. Sometimes no means yes. And don't take that to the extreme, please. Sometimes no means yes, and sometimes yes means no. Sometimes people, we as human beings, we like to see and feel people out. Sometimes you will give a person enough rope to hang themselves, right? It's like, okay, I'll say yes, but I'm really saying no. But let me see how far this person really going to take this. Because I know you really can't believe that I'm going to give you permission in this area or for that. But since you think I am, I'm going to go along with it. Just see how far you're going to take this so I know how I need to deal with you going forward. Or not deal with you at all, right? And I'm guilty of that myself because I'll give you enough rope for you to hang yourself. I'll let you think and I'll give you an example if I can, without getting too personal. When it's like duality. Relationships are about reciprocity. It's about give and take. It's about divine exchange, right? It's about, you give, I give, and that's in anything. It's like, even if you're in a conversation, you can't have a conversation, so to speak, with yourself. If me and her are here talking, and I'm doing all the talking, she never gets the word in, it's like, for her, there's no interest here, right? And so, at the end of the day, if I'm on the phone with you and you doing all the talking, I never get a word in, I'm probably not going to want to talk to you no more. And that's pretty much going to be the end of the conversation. So, we have to allow for each other to give, to be able to share, and that's just part of the exchange. If I want to have a conversation with somebody, I have to allow them just like they have to allow me. That's what keeps the conversation going. That's what creates the the environment for us to build. We can't build if we're not giving each other the opportunity. But that's just something I want to add. But anyways, check this out, y'all. It's a little late. I know it's a little late, but you know how your boy do. I still have to slide through and come through. Robgoddy78 Show, West Side of Heaven. War every second till salvation is divided equally. Y'all already know the acronym. Today, my mother's birthday. Evangelist Marveline Daniel, we love you. God bless you. Happy birthday, Mom. Happy 71st. God has given it to you. We bless you. You know what I'm saying? In the name of Jesus, with many, 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 many more. Because you got great, 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 great grandchildren you need to see. Yeah, I added all that. That's all good. Well, anyways, I love y'all. Till next week, till next time. I'm going to tap back in with y'all. I got some stuff on the flow. I ain't gonna reveal it just yet, but in time it'll be revealed. All right, y'all, we out. West Side of Heaven, Gigi, you want to say something to the people?
Good talking to y'all. Peace.
All right, peace. We out. We out, y'all. We out. And, shit.
I had thought about that. That just came to me. I was like, that is true. Like, you got, you know, for right now, like, you got to stand still, like, for a minute.
I want to see how many remix for feed videos. Okay. I want to see how many people we got, cause I'm sure we
Your
tapped.
live might still, I mean, yeah.